Hey guys, welcome back to the RemedyCraft server, which unfortunately might actually be for the very last time. You see, there's been quite a bit of inactivity on the server recently. You'll notice that I haven't uploaded a video for quite some time. I've had quite a few other projects on the go, which have just demanded my attention, which is also true for everybody else on the server. And we agreed at the start of this that Minecraft is a bit of fun. And these videos were also a bit of fun. It was stuff to do in our downtime and that we weren't going to take it too seriously, but it was something that we were passionate about doing. That being said, if things in the real world do start to suffer, we said that we would put this on a bit of a back burner. However, recently we've had quite a bit of a conflab and we've decided that we're going to restart the server. This brought up a bigger issue for King himself because he's in the process of doing some things in his personal life and he just isn't able to commit the time to this project anymore, which is why this server will cease to exist in the next few days. But do not fear, because we're actually going to be moving over to a new server. One of the other members of this server, called Mulchi, has set up his own server and we will be migrating over there very shortly. This is going to be under a brand new name with a whole new different focus. Now you will have noticed on this server that we were spread quite far apart. This was partly good because we could build wherever we wanted and we could build whatever we wanted. We had the right biomes for our different designs. But it did also mean that we didn't really get to see much of each other. We didn't get to interact much, which is what we're going to try and do a lot more of on this new server. As I say, we will be starting on the new server very shortly, but in the meantime, I wanted to just show you guys around this server, show off some of the other builds, and kind of reminisce about where we started and where we've ended up. So as you can see, I am actually going to be starting this whole ending episode where we began. We were all sat around this campfire and we're all kind of talking about who we were, what we wanted to do on this server, what our goals were, what our builds were going to be based on, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was a really cool experience because we got to meet everybody properly. We're all kind of sat around this. Unfortunately, we have lost a couple of people along the way. Brandoff and AJ were no longer able to get on the server because they had other commitments. We haven't seen much of a Danger recently, but then we also have had new people. For instance, my girlfriend Jen Bob decided to join us, and she's done an absolute fantastic build. I know you'll have seen it in some of my previous episodes. And I'm just so happy that not only is she on the server, but she's actually really thriving with the community and everybody seems to just really love her vibe and what she does and her builds. Moving forward onto this new server, there is going to be me, of course, Zombie Slayer, Gem Bob, Lord Vic or Wello, Mulchi, Psycho Pete, plus a couple of others like Blackwing and Apple Juice. But it will be interesting to see the kind of community that we can build with a smaller group of people, but far more committed to being on all at the same time and being far more active. So here, of course, we have the shopping district, which has just grown immensely over the past few months. I'm so proud of all the work that everybody's put in. As you can see, we changed all the mycelium in this area out to grass because it just looks so much better. We originally started on a mycelium island because we didn't want mobs to spawn, and we thought that, like the RemedyCraft server did in their season 7, the idea was that it was going to reduce lag. But in the end, we decided that the pros were outweighed by the cons, so we changed it out to grass, and then on this new server, we will not be going anywhere near mycelium or mushroom islands. Me and Jen built this lovely little fountain. We thought it was a nice little centerpiece. There was no planning behind all this. We just came in with some blocks and threw it up, changed a few things quite a few times, and eventually we landed on this design with the water coming down from the top there and then into this pool here. It is lit from the bottom as well, so at night time it kind of has this glow effect, which I thought was really, really nice. Now, of course, we have my shops. I was really proud of this one because it was my face, but integrated into a librarian's hat. First time I've ever built anything like that, and it turned out really well. I was quite surprised. This produced actually quite a lot of diamonds for me, so I will be doing this again in the new series. Down here, we had my totem shop all the way down here. This was not very profitable, which I kind of found hard to believe, really, because I thought everybody was going to want totems. I remember in one of our pre-season shopping districts, someone had a totem shop and it was never stocked because people kept buying them out. So I don't think I've made any sales, unfortunately not. Again, really happy with the design of this place. I must confess, 90% of this was done by the time I got here. This was it's pretty much how it was generated by Minecraft, so it looks absolutely gorgeous and I was really impressed with this. Of course, we have plenty of other shops. We have Vic's kind of general store. He was selling wool, woods. There was a nether and end section up here. I'm not really too sure how popular that was, but I think he made a lot of money out of the wood section there, so that was very lucrative for him. We have the rocket shop that Nick had, and over here we had Pete Slate. So this was Psycho Pete's shop, and he was selling deep slate. Because I think, like me, he may have had quite a large quarry, so he's got a lot of materials left over and just wants to sell them. Deep slate is quite a popular block because it's brand new still. People haven't done that many builds with them, and they're a pain in the ass to mine. It takes ages. You can't insta mine it, so I think having it sold in a shop is a good thing. And then lastly, we have Cornballs' shop. He was selling wither skeleton skulls and beacons. He was selling these for quite a premium, like quite a lot of money, 5 diamond blocks for 3 heads. Now, I think this is only a good thing because it creates a market for them. And if he's gone to the trouble to create a wither skeleton farm, that's a lot of work. And you see people on like the RemedyCraft server that sell them for like 5 diamonds or something for 3, and it really devalues them. So I think it's pushing people to either go out and grind themselves or buy it here. And in the process, makes it worth it for him because he's making a lot of money. And then we have 5 diamonds for the end crystals. These create a lot of damage, so yeah, it's a good job that they're behind glass. Of course, we had Jen Bob's potion shop. She did very well with that. And over here, this is just looking absolutely insane. Blackwing has done such an amazing job of this zoo. I don't think it's going to be finished in time, which is a real shame. It really is. But we are hopefully getting a world download of this entire place. So with a bit of luck, he will be able to finish all this off, and I would love to see how it all turns out. But yeah, seriously, he's done a fantastic job, and I just really had to take my hats off to him. He's just done such a good job. And this was the House of Hostiles. Again, such a fantastic job because it did that trick where the eyes constantly look like they're looking at you no matter where you move. You look like you're being looked at. Ah, such a cool little trick. Now, just a bit further over here was actually Blackwing's base along with Vix. Created a lovely little mountain here. A little volcano, I think it actually is. Yeah. I mean, lovely use of blocks and colours and textures to really try and drive home the point that it is a volcano and it's bubbling up. Maybe even slightly active. These are lovely little bases and they've got such a little cool design to them. I do think that Vic's got a slight obsession with acacia though, because that looks pretty cool. The terraform around here looks great. I must admit I am not a fan of long grass. Never liked it. It just seems to get in your way, like you're trying to look at something and it's just in your way all the time, and I don't like that. But armor stands. Blackwing has been very, very busy with armor stands all over the server at different points. He's done it not just in this season, but he's done it in the previous one, and he always makes it look so good. Of course, these guys look a little nude. You can see his bum there. All in all, he does such a good job of this, and yeah, I'm very jealous of his skills when it comes to armor stands. Of course, we can't forget the Christmas island that we had over here with the rather large snowman and the Christmas tree that we decked out, or helped deck out, should I say. This was a really fun project to work on with everybody. I really love doing community builds. I do get a little anxious when it comes to community builds because I'm not a fantastic builder and there are other people on this server that are far better at it than I am. I always wonder if I'm going to kind of just get in the way. But either way, it is still very, very fun. I know that Adenja came up with this gingerbread house and he just did a phenomenal job with it. I love the presents underneath the tree, and they're just armor stands with helmets on. Dead simple, but very effective. But let's head over to my base and I'll give you a little bit of a tour around what I've done since the last episode. It's not a lot, but hopefully it's enough to give you guys an idea as to where I was going with the whole build. I am gutted that I'm not going to be able to finish this. Again, we are getting a world download, so I may come back to it at another point, but I also may just put my focus and my attention and my time and effort, limited as it is, into the new server. So as you guys will remember, I did the Starry Night Sky as the ceiling. I was really happy with how that turned out. There's a couple of things I may have done differently next time, but still I think it looks great. We have the very large red tree in the center. I thought this was going to be a nice contrast because there's a lot of darker elements and a lot of teal, like blue elements all over the place. So I thought having a big red tree in the center was going to be a nice contrast to all that. But one of the things I've been trying to do in between episodes is join the top base with the bottom base. Now, this wasn't the original idea. It was something that I came up as we went. I like the idea of using different blocks to represent different areas of Minecraft. So as you can see here, we've got a lot of the netherrack, then we've got black stone, we've got soul sand, and then it moves over into nether brick. Around this side, we had the deep slate along with tuff. And then this area here, going all the way back round towards the nether brick, was going to be things like stone, andesite, granite, that kind of stuff. This part was going to represent the overworld, and all the deep slate and the tuff was going to represent the lower parts of the overworld. And then around the back, as I say, you've got the netherrack, which was like obviously the nether. And I was maybe going to throw in some end stone as well, but as I say, I just didn't get the time to do it. And there's been a lot of projects that I've got going on in real life that have just really demanded my attention. But that being said, I've really found this to be a really enjoyable experience. I've loved building this thing because I didn't know that I was able to do anything like this. I am very proud of what I was able to create. However, what I will say is one of my favourite builds of the episode, and I'm slightly biased, but of course, is Gem Bob's place. This is just majestic. I know I was kind of gushing over it in one of my last episodes, but she's done such a good job with this place, and it's just such a pleasure to walk around it and see all the detailing that she's done. This is definitely one of the things that I really need to improve on and push myself more to do. Look at this. Look at that dragon head as a portal. Like, really? Come on. That's so cool. I would have thought to do something like that. And the fact that she's able to get the proportions and the actual shape of a dragon's head so well. And obviously, you know, the dripstone for teeth. That's just a really nice little touch. And I think it's magma blocks as eyes. Super sinister, but super cool. But yeah, this is definitely something I need to push myself to do more of in my future builds, is detailing. Because I'm rubbish at it, to be perfectly honest. I'm able to kind of get the build and the general gist of what I want. A little bit of texturing. I'm learning how to do texturing a little bit more. I can do a little bit of terraforming here and there, but then detailing is something that I, you know, really struggle with. Interior design, as it were. And that's not just in Minecraft, that's also in real life. We're actually in the process of redoing our kitchen, and I'm letting her do all the interior design. I'm happy to do all the heavy lifting and the dirty jobs, but she gets all the design work. I think she was going to be putting up a dragon or something up here. So she had it mapped out in dirt, but I don't think she ever got quite around to it. And she was going to be building a haunted house, kind of haunted village sort of thing here. That was the next project that she was going to do. But I think she's going to be leaving that to the new season. I'm not too sure what she's got planned. She's keeping quite a few cards close to her chest, which is a good thing because we don't want any spoilers now, do we? And then lastly, we have Mulch's old base. I think him, Nick, and Vic decided to start up elsewhere. I think it was them three. They had all this stuff, and then they kind of got to a point where they were like, right, okay, we've done everything that we needed to. Let's all just start again. Now, I'm not too sure exactly where they went. Otherwise, I would show you the builds. But I still think this is a really cool build. I liked what he's done with the textures of wool. Of course, he's got his sheep farm here with all the different types of wool. And I think he has his portal there, and a few other bits knocking around as well. But I think this is a rather fitting place to end the episode, where it all began. This is one of the first starter builds that I did where I really messed about with the textures and detailing. This was sort of modeled and inspired by a build that I saw on Instagram. If I can find that post, I will put it up on screen right now. Of course, I added my own touches to it, and I'm super proud of how it turned out. Overall, I've thoroughly enjoyed playing on this server, and I'm super grateful to all of you guys for watching and coming along with me on this journey. I do hope that you'll stick with me on the next season when we go bigger and better than ever before. As I said earlier, this new season is going to be much more community based. So we're actually going to be building a lot closer to each other. We're going to have a shopping district and our starter builds right there close to each other so we can see and interact with each other far more easily. Our bigger builds from there will be a bit further back, just basically wherever we can find a biome or an area that suits our designs. There'll be much more information to come about this new server very, very soon, so I do hope you'll stick with me for that. Thank you so much for watching my videos and watching this server. It's a little bit of a bittersweet ending because whilst I have a great lot of love for this server, I'm so excited to start this new one. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.